It's been a while since my last video, and I know I'm running late with this one, but I just had to put my 1.5 cents on this particular issue. You know, black women have created blog sites specifically for black women, of course, framing the narrative for black women, telling black women who they should hate, telling black women who they should love, telling black women how they should live their lives. And of course, they tell black women why they shouldn't be with black men and why they should date interracially. They're leading the charge when it comes to interracial dating between black women and non-black men. As a matter of fact, a black woman coined the term swirling. And of course, black women have embraced swirling to the fullest. I bring up this subject because of actor singer Tyrese Gibson has recently gotten married, and he said on social media that he found his quote unquote black queen. And of course, reactions from black women is that she doesn't look black. And of course, other gossip blog sites are checking into her background and looking into her parents' background to see if she's black. The reasoning is because black women are saying if she's not black, you don't have to lie and say that she's black. And they also say that had he said her true race, then there wouldn't be an issue. Well, the problem with that is whether he had admitted to the fact that she was probably not black, or whether he didn't admit to the fact that she was not black. It wouldn't have made a difference because in a black woman's eyes, she doesn't look black enough. You see, in the eyes of a lot of black women, especially darker skinned black women, the fact that she's a fair skinned woman, regardless of her race, she's a fair skinned woman. She's not dark skinned. So there's an issue of colorism. Black women have always been competitive against lighter skinned women, even lighter skinned black women. So this issue with Tyrese and his new wife when it comes to the approval of black women is just a no-win situation, no matter how you look at it. Because according to black women, a black man is supposed to marry the blackest, darkest woman on the planet. No exceptions. Now, when it comes to these black male bashing blog sites, these blog sites, all they talk about is swirling. Here's an example. Maybe a day or two after Tyrese broke the story about his wedding to his so-called black queen, this particular black male bashing blog site posted this story of Zoe Kravitz, and the title reads, Zoe Kravitz and her Vanilla King swirling strong. And of course, you can imagine all the high fives and the oohs and ahs that Zoe Kravitz received for dating her quote unquote Vanilla King. And of course, this particular blog site, like all blog sites geared toward black women, bashing black men, they're full of stories about black women swirling. I mean, there's no question about the fact that the men that these women are dating are not black. There's no argument about that fact that they're not black. In fact, it's highly celebrated about the fact that they're not black men. I know that black women are saying, no, if he only just revealed the race of his wife and not called her his black queen, there wouldn't be so much controversy. But that is just not true. Black women have a problem with a woman, any woman, even a black woman, who's lighter than them. They don't want lighter skinned or black women to show off their natural hair because the natural hair of a biracial or light skinned black woman is not kinky enough. I mean, I've even heard of black women fighting other black women because they were lighter skinned or because their hair was not as kinky. It's just ridiculous. So the point of this video is to show the hypocrisy of black women who are huge supporters of swirling when it comes to black women and non-black men, yet a black man marries a woman of color. I'm not going to say what race or nationality she is because I don't know her personally, but I know she's a woman of color at least. But black women support blog sites that support swirling with men of no color. White men. They support swirling with men who have oppressed them, who have oppressed the generations before them, ever since they came into this country. They support dating and marrying men who even oppress women who love to date and marry them. Like the Williams sisters, they call them monkey. They call them gorillas. They say they're unattractive. These are white men saying this. White men are talking about Michelle Obama, calling her a monkey and calling her ugly and calling her fat. These are white men doing that. And they're not just in general conversation. These are white men, they're news reporters, they're politicians, they're leaders from around the world who are putting down black women. But a black man marrying a lighter-skinned woman of color seems to be this huge issue with black women. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I've just come to the conclusion that black women are hypocritical and they are hateful. Their self-hatred is ruining them. And there's nobody else to blame for this. It's time for black women to look inside themselves and try to fix whatever dysfunctions that you have. Because whatever issues you all have is affecting your dating choices. And it's affecting how you feel about black men. It's affecting how you feel about other black women who are lighter than you. Black women, you need to get your shit together. Seriously. You need to stop letting these black male bashing blog sites tell you what you should do with your life and how you should live your life, because they're run by hateful ass black women who have nothing but hatred towards black men and who are obviously having unhappy, fucked up lives. And misery loves company. So be careful of the company you keep. One more point I'd like to make. You know how there are certain stories on certain blog sites that talk about how some actors, some entertainers, some athletes who look white or who look non-black, and the world perceives them as non-black, but then there's like a trace of blackness in their bloodline. Maybe their grandfather was black. Maybe their aunt was black. Maybe their brother's barber was black. Any type of way to connect blackness to this certain person. Black people always run to pull them into the black race. We embrace that person because of the little bit of blackness that they have. But when it comes to Tyrese Gibson and his new bride, you're rejecting her because she's not black enough. Just more hypocrisy on top of hypocrisy.